before.
This is Yami Bolo from out of Jamaica, and I fully endorse SPRB radio podcast with the 10-Star General and Sharon Mango. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. Bless the love. Yami Bolo said that.
Hey, this is Tony Anthony out of Canada, and I definitely endorse SPRB radio podcast with 10-Star General and Sharon Manga. Yeah, man, I definitely endorse SPRB radio podcast with the 10-Star General and Sharon Manga. Check them out, all right? Cool.
Paulette Williams from Out of Many Smile Jamaica Charity. I endorse 10-Star General and Sharon Mango from SPRB Radio Podcast. Check them out. Check them out. You won't be disappointed. Authentic music and heartfelt love. Check them out.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Keisha Martin, fully endorsing SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-Star General and Sharon Mango. You already know it's a whole entire vibe. And I mean say, everybody just rock and come in, cause we are jamming at the housing scheme. Bring your queen and leave your machine, cause up here good vibes from the scene. It rock steady, baby, rock steady. Right over to SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-Star General and Sharon Mango. Keisha Martin says so. Fully endorsed.
Hey, what's up? My name is Ray Vaughn, and I fully support SPRB Radio Podcast. Check it.
Yes, this is Jerry Harris. I want to fully endorse the SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-Star General and Cheryl Mango. You won't be disappointed. Check it out.
This is Jojo Mack, and I always tune into the SPRB Radio Podcast with 10-Star General and Sharon Mango. If you love a good conversation, you should too. Check it out.
Yes.
Greetings, one and all. This is Lloyd Brown giving full endorsement to
Stock in Promotion Royal Blend Radio.
The station with integrity, the station with a difference. Remember me tell you, Lloyd Brown says so. Full endorsement.
Stock in Promotion Royal Blend Radio.
We now stop till we drop. Saying, bless.
This is The Buzz, your music news update for the latest on your favorite artists and more. Sponsored by JojoMacMusic.com.
Hello everyone, I am Pistol and this is The Buzz. The music industry has been plunged into mourning following news of the death of recording artist Unknown Gringo in Rock District early Friday morning of March 10th. The corporate communication unit confirmed that the Tank Up DJ was killed by unknown assailants who shot him while he was in his car. The artist, given name France Morris, hailed from a Retreat Heights address in Falmouth, Trelawney. Reports are that about 12:32 a.m., residents heard explosions and summoned the police. Morris was seen in the driver's seat of a Toyota Crown motor vehicle with gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the hospital. Dancehall selector Ricky Trooper wrote, "Rest in peace, youth. Condolences to your family. You were a promising star." Unknown Gringo is known for songs such as Brawling Death, Vroom Vroom, Money Factory, Shy, featuring Jada Kingdom, and the island-wide hit, Tank Up. Dancehall heavy hitter Jada Kingdom spent a lot of her childhood putting emotions down with a pen. Years later, the writing talent has transcended into her recording songs, which have catapulted her into the spotlight on the local and international scene. The latter seeing more of her lately. Known to pull the occasional disappearing act from social media, she has managed to maintain an air of mystery and continuously sparks curiosity among her fans. She has also been more absent than present on local stages, but in a recent interview, Jada Kingdom revealed that, quote, "I'm around and I'm ready, but that it all depends on her compensation. The promoters have to book me and they know where to find me," adding that for her latest booking on West Igloo, Euphoria, the promoters should come proper. Following her appearance at Sting last December, she said that she feels there is a need to redeem herself. Jada Kingdom, who is currently signed to New York City-based Republic Records, which is owned by Universal Music Group, hinted that she has just wrapped up the production of her upcoming album. Pieces, a hit song by DJ Massacre, which features Jashi, at press time was a new #1 song on Hot 104.1 FM's chart in the Cayman Islands. The song is the first release from Massacre's recently inked album deal with Def Jam Records. In a previous interview, Massacre said, "Pieces is a song of triumph. It's a celebration of what you have worked hard for and motivates the listeners to keep going. The song touches on overcoming challenges and obstacles you face along the way as we navigate through this thing called life." Since its release just over 2 weeks ago, official video for Pieces has garnered more than 2 million views on YouTube. It has ranked #1 on the YouTube trending chart for the past week. Rising dancehall sensation Valiant and his team are overwhelmed by the level of support he received on the Guyana stop of his Caribbean tour. He performed to a sold-out crowd in Guyana twice in less than a month, which is considered groundbreaking and a first in the country. Valiant and Stock Ashley were both invited by one of Guyana's premier promotional companies, Slingers Family Entertainment, for its West Side Mashramani weekend event. Songs such as Speed Off, Dunce Check, and Glock 40 have been earning the artist encore performances. However, one thing he wants to receive as much attention as his music are his philanthropic efforts, and he made it a duty to visit several communities across Guyana prior to the event. He wanted to show his appreciation through monetary gifts, taking photos, speaking, and engaging fans throughout the communities. At the start of 2023, Vogue magazine named Valiant, given name Raheem Bose, an artist to take over, which he said has had major impact on his career. He's seeing the results based on the number of international labels that have reached out. Valiant is further scheduled to perform in Barbados, Grenada, Bermuda, St. Martin, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Trinidad over the coming months, and will announce dates for his Canada, US, and UK tour schedule. MC, host, and selector Dariel Cummings, known as Triple X, says he hopes members of the entertainment community will use the passing of Arif Cooper as a warning to get their affairs in order. He said, quote, "I just hope this is like a wake-up call to people out there. This is something that is very shocking to a lot of persons." I am Pistol, and that, my friends, was The Buzz.
That was The Buzz, your music news update for the latest on your favorite artists and more. Sponsored by JojoMacMusic.com.
Now here's the song from our sponsor, Jojo Mac.
Wahala problema, wahala problema. I really don't know where to begin. Why the world is in the state that it's in. Much to my chagrin, we run the devil's playground. Pride and dignity is no longer in the equation. It's all about private parts and weapons. Nothing left to the imagination. Everything is on display. People acting like it's okay. Oh, Jack, we need to be rescued. We need you. We need you. The devil's having people constantly tested. We need you. We need you. When we talk about it, what's on our mind? They're quick to punish us like we commit a crime. They want us to stop saying what's wrong with what they're doing. So many people giving into pagan system. If we dare to call out what is wrong, we get canceled one by one, insisting that we have to pay. Speech has no freedom today. Oh, Jack, we need to be rescued. We need you. We need you. The devil have your people constantly tested. We need you. We need you. Wahala, hala, wahala problema. Wahala, hala, wahala problema. Wahala, hala, wahala problema. We know the change is good, but can it be for the better? What about working to uplift one another? Aren't we the ones who say the children are the future? So why do we display such unacceptable behavior? So no one has a right to tell you how to live your life, and no one should be giving unsolicited advice. But it's not right, certain things shouldn't come to light. tested. We need you. We need you. Oh, Jah, we need to be rescued. We need you. We need you. The devil's having people constantly tested. We need you. We need you. Wahala, hala, wahala problema. Wahala, hala, wahala problema. We need you. We need you. Wahala, hala, wahala problema. Wahala, hala, wahala problema. We need you. We need you. Oh, Jah, we need to be rescued. We need you.
Big tune coming from Jojo Mac. Oh gosh.
We need you. We need you.
Greetings, one and all. This is Lloyd Brown, and you're in tune to SPRB Radio, the station with integrity. Remember me tell you, Lloyd Brown giving full endorsement to the team. See? So SPRB Radio, and I beg you, treat it well. Let's go.
Our guest today is the great veteran himself, Coozie Mellers.
Though the road is rocky, well, it's the only way we've got to go.
Put up again.
Woo! Though the road is rocky, well, it's the only way we've got to go. So broken children of Israel and right on, well, leaving the fire down below. It will be good to be there when the gates of Zion is closed.
Good to be there.
Good to be there. Good to be there. It will be good to be there when the gates of Zion is closed.
Good to be there.
Good to be there.
Going to be there.
You can't buy your way with gold and silver.
Go on, Coozie.
You can't fight your way with sticks and stones, no. But you got to walk across that river, yeah. Children of Zion, coming on. It will be good to be there when the gates of Zion are closed.
Good to be there.
Good to be there, yeah. It will be good to be there when the gates of Zion are closed. Good to be there. Good to be there.
Lloyd Brown, and you're in tune to SPRB Radio, the station with integrity. Remember me tell you, Lloyd Brown giving full endorsement to the team. See? So SPRB Radio, and I beg you, kick it well. Let it go.
After that musical extravaganza,
Well,
after that boom shot,
that was a nice little wake up.
after that song that just warms and I tell you, if you're having a bad day, just put on that particular song, Good to Be There, by the Anthem Band. Everything is cook and curry after that, man. Especially when the doors and toes of Coozie step in. Jesus. Welcome, Coozie.
We should say welcome back.
Okay, welcome back.
Back.
Hello. How you doing?
Good. You good?
Yeah, I'm doing good today, you know.
Yeah, man. You don't even look like you had anything named operation or anything.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Because
Feel
like
me
the
like good
blessings.
into it, little by little.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Well,
good,
it's good to
it's
have
good
you.
to be here.
It
You know?
certainly is. I like that. I like that. That's good.
It's good to be here.
Yeah.
Bless up, bless up, bless up. It's good to have you back, actually, and I'm glad we ironed out the little gremlins. And I've got my little bottle of holy water somewhere around, a little stash just in case we need to sizzle them out of the place. No, true, Sharon.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And the right word, true word.
Right, right, right. Well, and bless up all our guests who are here, Charmaine, DJ Maestro, Sharon Bentley, and everybody else who is due to come in very, very soon. Thanks you, everyone, for being here. Sharon.
Yes, sir. Greetings and blessings to all of you. So happy Coozie's here with us. Oh my gosh, when I tried to reach him before, this man was going for surgery the next day. And I said, wait, what? What you mean surgery? And well, thanks be to God, all's good, all's well. But I did keep checking up on him because I was a little concerned, like, well, make sure you don't do this, make sure you don't do that, and don't pick up nothing. Say you're bad man, don't pick up nothing. Right? Because if he come out and he see dirty dishes, if him sit up and him go and start move and shake, you gonna chill out. That's what you gonna do. And that's what he did. That's why he looks good now. You see him look all right.
Right.
Yeah, little by little.
Little by little, one step at a time. That's it.
So that's what it is.
That's what it is.
Coozie had the mango experience.
Yeah, he did, because I was on him. I was. You could definitely, I was on him.
She says, I'm going to call you every day, That's what she said to me.
I did, because I was like, you going to catch it.
Yeah.
You're going to catch it. I'm going to make sure nothing. If he goes in, you coming out fine. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm good now. And soon to be back to the music thing, because I took a little break from it,
Right. It's good to breathe, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's God's way of chilling us out and saying, take some time out to breathe.
That's without question. God always does that. He makes you sit down. Sometimes he makes you sit down. Sit down and rethink what you're doing and how you're going to proceed to the next level. But the mind has to rest. You got to rest your mind and your spirit. And that's what you did, isn't it?
Yeah. Because I'm a person, I eat, drink. When I'm sleeping, it's just music.
Right.
It's music. I'll get up in the morning and I go right to it, and your mind shot, like evening time will come and I feel the hunger. I'm like, I didn't eat all day. I get something to eat, I go right back to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of, in a way, I'm kind of anxious to get back to a song that I started with JC Lodge and Blackout.
Look how Kathleen just said that. Sorry, my alarm bell just went off.
Yeah.
We love her. We love her. Love her.
Yeah. I was happy to work on this because from way back in the day, she sang a song that is like one of my all-time favorites.
Which one?
What's that one? Big tune.
Telephone Love?
No. Before that, And my boy, Prince Muhammad, which is George Nook coming in one time. I mean, he said, make up your mind, don't stand.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Someone loves you, honey.
Yeah, someone loves you, honey.
Oh, someone loves you, honey. Okay.
Yes, someone loves you, honey.
One of my all-time favorite tune. I don't know, because I'm here today. It's like it just eluded me when I said it, but yeah, big tune from that. I love her.
Yeah.
I love. Yeah. I covered that tune many times at weddings. Had to weddings and had to do that song. So, yeah, man, all-time favorite.
Big tune. Yeah. So, like as I say, I was happy, very happy to be presented with the project. So,
right.
That's one of the things I started right before I had the surgery. I had to leave it alone for a little bit.
Right.
Good.
I tell you what, big up Saxman Jerry, who's in the building. Bless up his stuff.
Yes, Saxman Jerry.
I'm a red, you know.
Jerry, man.
I see he's muted, but yeah, big up Jerry.
Big up my girl Charmian, my New York bestie. Bless up yourself.
Oh, Charmaine in New York. Is she in New York?
She's in New York.
Yeah, that's my friend. I mean, for years.
Oh,
I wonder if she's Brooklyn, New York, or is it Queens?
is she?
I should find out from one of them time there.
Don't even put me there. I'm in the Bronx, the boogie down.
The boogie.
Oh, she's
in the boogie down Bronx.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my invitation for dinner. You know, that's what I'm waiting for.
You should be here now. I'm cooking.
Oh Jesus!
let me say quickly.
Yeah.
I just gotta get this in before we get caught up or anything happens. That when you bring somebody like Coozie to this show, this is like royalty, you know. This is like royalty.
Wow.
Because when I met Coozie, and it was so crazy when I met Coozie at SOBs, and I first heard Coozie and the Anthem Band, I said to myself, this is it. He's arrived. This is it. This is the band to be. And this is for the New York State, Connecticut, all 5 boroughs.
Right.
I have not heard a better band than Anthem Band.
True.
Now tell me, what is
it don't get better. It does not
It
get
does.
better. And I just think that a lot of the promoters, managers, they don't give him the credit that he deserves, you know?
He doesn't.
They don't.
So when I came to you, Jenna, and I said, listen, we gotta have Coozie on this platform. Got to. It makes sense because I've never met such a humble person in the music industry that is honest.
Right.
Honest in everything he does, from music to personal, everything he does is so honest.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the exposure that he's getting today, you know? So when he tells you his story, you're going to see why it was very important to bring him to this platform.
Yeah.
And for people to know the struggle, because he's been in, because you know, I'll tell you, you know, star. But he's been doing this like since he was a teenager.
What? I thought he was still a teenager. What are you talking about?
Yeah, right?
Mentally, I am.
He still look like a teenager. I'm telling you, but he was born to do this. This is his talent. This is his calling, and it doesn't get any better. Trust me, it don't.
Thank you for that.
So I'll let you continue.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charmaine.
Hi, Char. How are you?
I'm fine, my love. How are you? With the
I'm hanging in there. We gotta link up. I got a lot of stuff for you.
All right, sister. Bring it.
Yeah, man. I'll let you continue because his story is unbelievable. So enjoy. Coozie, bless up yourself, brother. Brother from another mother.
Thank you very much, Charmaine. I love you to death.
I know. We you know, I'm sure that your DNA is my DNA, you know, star.
You never know. You never know.
You never know. All right, guys. I'll let you continue with the interview.
Thank you, Charmaine. So, Telstar, before you say anything else, you asked what's SOBs. It's a club in New York, in Manhattan.
Okay.
Been there times. Yeah, so it's a nice little venue.
Sounds of Brazil. Yeah.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, that used to be our home at one time, basically. We used to play there a lot. Any band, I'm not band, but any artist that came through at the time and needed a band, they would give us a call. So we ended up backing up people like Mega Bantan, Academics and Pliers, Judy Moore, which we were very familiar with anyway, Jack Maddox. It's like we would get a call all the time, you know, that was back in 92, 93.
Yeah.
And was Anthem's home, basically. You know, they would call us to do Bob Marley's birthday celebration over there. Whatever was going on, it was Anthem that was coming through, you know. So it's not surprising that Charmaine would mention SOB. You know, we haven't been there in a long time. I don't really even know what's going on with it. I know that they actually still do music there, but
Yeah, they do. They're still doing music.
things are not like before. Because reggae, they used to have a Reggae Tuesday at one time.
Yes, they did. Yeah, it was Reggae Tuesday. Yep, that's true.
Yeah.
So many times I was there all the time. Yeah, I seen you guys out there.
Yeah.
I seen you out there. I seen that band. I was there. I did it.
I remember one day, or one night, I should say, we played there. Carl Bradshaw. You guys know who that is? The Jamaican actor.
The actor, Small Orange.
Yeah. He was also in The Harder They Come and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was on stage when I got there, you know, and I was joking with him, and he was just saying, "Yo, man, the fastest man in because you know, in the Harder They Come when Jimmy Cliff was shooting at him." He said, "Well, you don't left bullet, you know, we make bullets drop out of here." Bullet couldn't follow him at all, you know.
Right.
Fastest man alive. He's a trip, you know, always joking. You know, I met him a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I noticed, I saw him on stage one time singing, you know, some ska.
I didn't even know he was a singer.
Me either. Singing some ska at one point, yeah.
Right.
He's on video. One of these days, I'm gonna find the video and send you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cooz, we're going to get into your history, and we're going to take you on a trip down memory lane. We want to take you back to the days of the jukebox. I don't know if you had a jukebox or you had a gram, where you had one of those devices that you had to wind up. Because I come from a time where you had to wind up the turntable, you know.
Yeah, no.
I gotta stop telling my age, man.
Well, I didn't have no wind up, so I'm like, wait, what? Okay.
Yeah, I've never had that.
No. Wind up. Whatever they called it. Take me back to them days, family household, you know, what was being played on a Sunday. Tell me about, because you come from a genetically great musical family.
Oh my gosh, he does. Oh, Lord.
Take us there. Early life.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, a lot of my relatives, because I came here when I was 5 years old, just about to turn 6.
From where? Which country?
Jamaica. Born in
Jamaica.
Everybody claimed Kingston. I was born in Kingston. My parents lived around Slipen Road. We moved to Buff Bay, Portland, though. So a lot of times when people ask me about Jamaica, I said, "Well, Buff Bay, I come from, you know, Wayne Wonder is from there." And a few more people, you know, Buff Bay, like Kildare, you know.
Right.
So when I was younger, my father used to play the guitar in the living room. You know, and he'd come home from work, and that's what he would do, you know. And he used to listen to instrumentals and stuff. He loved ska. He loved rock steady. Basically, I used to watch him play. We had a piano in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Kitchen. Yeah. So I would see my mother playing the same song all the time, you know, and every now and then I would get behind the piano. Everybody would at some point, you know. But her last name is Hines. Her maiden name is Hines. Oh. I got a call one time from Jamaica, a cousin of mine. I didn't even know who he was. Derek Hines. Plays trombone. He said, "My cousin, you know, Hines, you know." I was like, "Yeah." He says, "Yeah, my cousin is David Hines, Steel Pulse."
He's your cousin.
Yeah, I met him a few times, but he don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He never made the link because I never went into depth with him in them kind of conversations.
Wow.
But yeah, we share the same last name, through the mother. And like I say, I got a call from a guy that's the cousin of David Hines. But and another thing, I came home one night from a show and I'm checking my Facebook and I see this video Jerry posted. And David Hines is there saying, "Yo, Anthem, you're the best," Ray, Ray, Ray. And I was like, something, when I first started with the band, like PS Steel Pulse we used to play, Yeah, when I was learning how to play music, I was watching Steel Pulse. And what really brought me back into reggae, because I said I was here for so long that after a while I started getting into the hip hop stuff when I was in high school.
Right.
My brother joined the army, and he used to always send me music because he was over in Germany and he was buying music over there, and he would send me cassettes.
Right.
And one cassette had Rally Round the Flag on there, Steel Pulse.
Rally Round the Red.
Yeah.
The Congress. Yep.
I had a Walkman at the time.
Yeah.
And I would rinse that tune as I used to walk across I was in high school, man, bad as can be. I live on one side of town, but I used to always walk over to the worst side of town, and then 1 o'clock at night, I'm on the wrong side of town, late at nighttime, but I got my Walkman out. I'm listening to Rally Round the Flag, Rally Round the Red, over and over and over until I used to play the bass. So I learned it on the bass. Then I started playing guitar. Started playing on the guitar and formed a band. And yeah, from them time until now, the band, I see my brother on now too, Frank. What's up, Frank? Yeah.
Well, before we even advance any further, what did you want to be when you were in school?
I didn't know. That's a good thing. I had no idea. When I was in high school, my brother, which is on right now, I remember talking to him, and through him, I went back to school after I got out of high school. I went back to school for electronics.
Okay.
But there wasn't a lot of jobs in electronics. At that time, things started really advancing. And I remember going to one store that said, listen, if you have a VCR or TV or anything right now, it's easier just to buy a new one than to fix it.
Right.
Same price, basically, So,
Yeah,
there wasn't a lot of jobs in electronics at the time.
Right.
So, music was always
there. At this time, were you still in Jamaica or you were in New York by this time?
I was here. I grew up here in the States,
So at what age did you come to America?
I was 5, just turning 6, So I've been here almost all my life.
Right. So most of your life is in New York, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
By the time I reached around 18 or so, my father took me back to Jamaica for the first time in all that time. Yeah. And
so you see people around you into music. Who were your inspirations? The people that inspired you to want to get into music.
Well, something. One of my sisters, she was singing, and she was in the studio all the time, recording and everything. And I would actually sometimes be at her rehearsals, and sometimes I'd be there at the recordings. I used to drive her to the studio, and that kind of, as much as I love the music, it just sparked something even brighter in me. And I actually started being around people like Horace Andy, Sugar Minott, Johnny Osborne, Jackie Mitchell, U-Roy. When I went to Wacky's in the Bronx, 241st White Plains Road, that was like a hangout spot, basically, for a lot of well-known artists. And them time that the tune that Goodbye, them tune that Johnny Osborne big on the charts, and that was my brethren too, because like I was recording with him. I played bass on music for him in the studio. We'd leave the studio, go to Manhattan, drive around the Bronx. I brought him pick up his money from Moody's. You know what I'm saying? For one of his tunes. He's like, boy, Coozie, I sing the tune a year and I don't get a dime, So me and him gone to the Moody's to go pick up the money and thing,
Right.
Horace Andy, I remember the first 2 chords I learned on the guitar is Horace Andy showed me a C major and a C minor, and he showed me a G scale. And then one day I'm in the studio playing bass for him on a recording, and I'm like, wow, I remember way back when I was just learning. And now, it's just like another memory, almost the same, where I was on stage in Japan with U-Roy, and U-Roy, we're doing Queen Majesty. And I'm like, I remember when I was first learning how to play guitar, man, and I'm sitting there, tape recorder on, and I'm learning Queen Majesty on the guitar, and now I'm on stage with the artists. I'm thinking about that, and I'm singing Queen Majesty, and playing, and the memories there, and I mess up because my mind is someplace else. I was like, oh my goodness. But it was a lovely experience, man.
Right. Anyway, Sharon, step in. You're muted, girl. You're muted.
I'm doing that because I'm trying to be polite. So
that's right.
We're going to take you back a little bit because
He's got his roller skates on, Sharon.
Well, I know, but I'm going to pull him back though, isn't it? We're going to drag him back.
Roller skates off.
In high school, were you a part of a band? Like how or who taught you to actually play bass and guitar? Who taught you?
Oh, that's good. I was 17 years old, and my sister started going out with a guy called Fabian Cook. At that point, Fabian was 17 as well. Fabian had just come up from Jamaica. He was on tour with the Congos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the whole band was really young at that time too. Fox, he was one of the stewards. Remember Tinga Stewart and Roman?
Yeah.
He was cousin. He was a great singer too. He played keyboards for them. He was a bass player. Fabian now was he played everything. Most of the people in the band played everything, but Fabian is crazy. When I first met him, I was on the way to just go jam some music with some friends. So my sister, she says, well, this is her boyfriend and he's here and like, he ain't really got nothing to do. So if I can just hang out with him, I said, yeah, he can come along. So we were playing and Fabian says to me, can I hold a bass? I said, what, you can play bass? He says, yeah, a little bit. I'll try a thing. And when I saw what the guy started doing on the bass, it was crazy. Them time that slapping first came in,
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And I've never seen it done before. And I was like, wow, the guy is really good at the bass, I was playing bass at that time and I was blown away because I was just learning how to play. So then he says, can he sit in on the drums? I said, what, you play drums too? He said, try a thing. Not knowing that he was a drummer for the Congos, So when he on the drums, I was like, oh my goodness, that's his real instrument,
Oh, yes.
The guy is a genius because he sings. He plays every instrument as well because he plays keyboards and stuff like that. And at this time, he was 17 years old.
Wow.
So, yeah. So now he becomes my teacher.
So how old were you? Wait, how old were you? If he was, how old were you?
I was 17, he was 17.
Okay.
So, I mean, eventually this guy went on to produce for Virgin Records, for Disney. He's the one that produced Hakuna Matata.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He was the one that got Jimmy Cliff to sing that song.
Right.
Yeah. That's how advanced that this guy actually went on to be. He lives in California now. He's on the set. I can't even name the programs that he's working with now, but he's an engineer out there. You know, he was with Ziggy Marley doing sound for like 7 years or more, and then
Wow.
he stopped that, and he's on a movie set now doing sound. You know, so the guy is amazing. You know,
He taught you. That's what it is. You learned from him.
yeah, from one of the best. You know, he's one of them unsung people too that
Heroes.
you wouldn't even know, but you know, win Grammy and all that stuff already. You know, yeah, yeah. So that's one of my teachers, and he had a big influence on me to do what I'm doing right now. So I'm producing as well. You know, it took me a while, but that's what I mainly do. You know, I got a lot of artists that I'm working with. I guess we'll get to that sooner or later.
You sure will. You get to learn the bass now. You're getting like, wow, man, I think I could really do this. So you fell in love with the bass, but then you said you play bass and guitar. So
What happened is I used to play the bass and I was kind of restricted with the bass, you know, because if you're playing bass, you got to be in front of the microphone and just stand one place forever, you know, and playing bass and singing is not an easy thing to do, you know. It's one of the roughest things. So eventually we met a guy that just came up from Jamaica. His cousin brought him to a rehearsal and he played bass. And I was like, you know something? A long time I want to put on the bass, you know. I want to play guitar. That way when I'm ready, I can put down the guitar and run into the audience and stuff like that. And I basically learned how to play the guitar on my own. But, you know, I had people that came into the band that were playing guitar too. So people like Junior Jazz, I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, but well, let me familiarize you with him just a little bit. Junior, when he first got into, well, he came to a rehearsal. We needed a keyboard player, and he came along with a keyboard player. And he was really good. He sings and he plays. At the end of the rehearsal, I was like, well, we're not really looking for a guitar player, and I already play guitar. But I said, well, we work good together, you know, me and the keyboard. And, you know, he's pleading his case. So I said, all right, you know, I'll try it out, even though we don't need another guitar player. And when I checked it out, whew, I made such a good decision by keeping Junior because the guy is really good. Frank is on. Frank knows. Junior was a really good addition to the band. Junior ended up playing and singing lead for Inner Circle for a little while, for like a year or two. He sang with Third World a few times when what's my boy's name again? AJ Brown. When he's missing, Junior sits in it. He sings. You know, Junior is the lead guitar player, rhythm and lead guitar player for the Wailers. Junior, he's a really good singer. He's a really good guitar player, and he's a really good producer.
Right.
You know, I don't even think that, because like when Junior's live and when he's in the studio, it's two different things. I'm always saying, Junior, you need to do more in the studio, like what you may even do on stage, because he can riff, you know. And he's like, nah, I'm up for it back to, you know, just reggae, you know, do the reggae thing. I'm like, nah, man, you gotta do you know, because the guy can think outside the box, you know, and do stuff that a lot of people wish they could do, but they can't do it like him, you know. But yeah, like I said, Junior was lead singer for Inner Circle. He was lead singing for Third World. He was lead singing for even the Wailers as well. But he plays guitar, and you know, all of these people have another singer. You know, because AJ Brown does the lead singing for Third World. Anytime they need a lead singer, even with what's this guy's name? Jazz keyboard player for Jamaica. What's the guy? Monty Alexander.
Okay.
Junior has played for him and sang for him as well.
Right.
Yeah, so that's who Junior is. So Junior was in our band for years. But you know, when we went on tour with the Women of Reggae tour. And the way that we went on as a band is that it was supposed to be a band from over in the UK, Akabu or something like that. You remember them?
Okay, yeah,
All
yeah,
female band.
that's right.
There was some kind of politics going on where, the women were saying that they wanted a neutral band, not a band that played for one of them. Said they wanted a neutral band, and boy, somehow because the tour was being booked by SOBs. Remember, I said we were the house band at SOBs.
Yeah.
Got the job, and we toured with the Women of Reggae tour. Every time I talk about that with people, I gotta explain it. What's that to do with Women of Reggae tour? Yeah, but it was a great experience. It was Sister Carol, Judy Mowat, and one of your own, Sister Breeze. You guys know her?
I've never heard of her, no.
Oh, she's from over there in the UK. She's great
Sister
too.
Breeze, never heard that name before.
Look her
Wow.
up. Look her up.
Wow.
Never heard of her?
Ever.
Wow.
But now you brought it to my attention. You've made me curious.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah. I'll be looking out for her.
Yeah. So yeah, we went on tour with them, and like after the tour, you find that people were tugging at the band. People want the bass player went with Whirler Girl. People want the guitar player gone. Yeah, I could have left a couple times, but it's my band.
That's true.
And that's one of the reasons, amongst many other, but that's one of the reasons why a lot of bands don't stay together. If they have a better deal with somebody that's established already, they may leave. But the thing is, when you leave, if you're a backup musician, that situation is not permanent,
Yeah.
And Beanie Man, Supercat, all of them, if you notice, they changed their band. Luciano, all of them, they changed their band. So
I think it's important to really to have these discussions about bands and the intentions of bands, but I think we're going to get into all that a little bit later, because he's still got his roller skates on. I told Sharon to take them off.
I took them off. We rose, but it's okay. Because one story, how you met one person leads into that. That's what we used to do. And that's how it is for him. Like your story is so interesting, because the people that is in your circle, right? There's a story for each and every person.
Yes.
How, why, what you did with that person, and how it just, you know what I mean, expanded. So we're gonna take you back again. So 17 years old. You with this dude, Fabian, you learn how to play,
bass from Fabian.
Really good with Fabian. Then you'd be like, I think I want to play a little guitar, So you play the guitar. You said you taught yourself, is that right?
Yeah.
So playing the bass, what can I say? So when you play the bass, right, you feel like you're just stagnant, you're one place, you can't do a whole bunch, and you can't sing. Well, if you have the guitar, because I would have thought the opposite. If you're playing the guitar, because sometimes you could go into some riffs and doing some stuff, and you gotta sing, that's funny to me. You know what I mean? I think having a band and knowing all the plays, what the plays of instruments do, and I'm like, wait, you're singing. And you said it's easier to sing with a guitar than a bass, right?
Yeah. It depends on what kind of music you're doing too, because like reggae, I got like basically one job when I'm singing. Chick, 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 Most of the time it's just that, and the piano has that covered. There's times when there's little lines that's being played, so I could either do that, or like I have a nephew that plays the keyboards, he plays the guitar as well. And a lot of times he brings both. So he got me covered,
So now when at that time you were not really playing with anybody, you're 17, you're growing now. When did the band aspect for you start? And who were the players of instruments even at that time? Because I know right now you got a couple of your brothers in there, or your cousins. Like it's a family thing with the anthem band. Like how did the anthem band come about? Question number one. Question number two, was that your first band that you were a part of?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because you have a few people that's been there from the start, like my brother that was walking through a few ago. Me, him, and a friend of mine, school friend, Donald, were drum, bass, and piano.
Okay.
Donald was a guitar player, and he was like, boy, it'll be better for drum, bass, and piano. So he started playing the piano. And me on bass, my brother on drums. Let me give you the little history quickly with that. My father was a guitar player, and I'm not sure how he noticed our interests. Maybe my brother was in the drum corps or something like that. I think maybe that's what happened. And he brought him a drum set. We came home from school one day, and there was a drum set and there was a guitar in the living room. Like, yes, yes. So me and my brother started playing drum and bass. And from time to time, we'd be around New York, different studios, drum and bass. Sometimes, I was still young. I was still learning and stuff like that. But I can play, I was actually better then than now. I put that away for so long. I do a lot of editing these days, But back in them days, I'm steady, do what I'm doing, and steady. So that's how the drum and bass, and then the piano, my friend Donald. And then eventually we added people, because I was doing most of the lead singing meanwhile playing the bass. Donald is a good singer. He used to play the piano, and same time I was doing most of the singing. So, I just eventually started playing guitar, had my friend Tim play bass. Eventually, One Drop got on bass, this is still early in the days, and that was the beginning of Anthem. We went by different names, Love Fire,
Okay.
Reggae Connection,
Mm-hmm.
a whole bunch of different stuff back in the day. But we always somehow, at least it was me, that used to, like, if the band break up, I would join a different situation and bring in the same players, and it becomes Anthem all over again. Yeah, like, I don't know how it happened, but it's Anthem again, the same faces in a broken up band. Until, these days, me and my brother are the only two original, but we have one of my nephews in the band, so there's still three. At one point, it was me, when I was 17, it was me, my brother, my sister Maxine, and the keyboard player Donald. So there was four of us, and then we brought in, I think we brought in a different bass player at that time. I went from bass guitar, bass guitar, bass guitar. When the band break up, I go right back to bass. So one time I looked around, and there was like two nephews, me and my brother. We were signed by some management company at one point, just the four of us, Mellers, And the name was originally Miller, by the way. There was some kind of mistake that changed the name to Mellers.
Okay.
Way back in the day, so there's a lot of us scattered all over the place, Mellers and Miller.
Right.
As I say, Hines. We got a lot of Hines, man. Justin Hines, maybe even, that the guy Horace had, his last name is Hines.
It's Hines as well. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You never know. He might even be related, for all I know.
You guys might be interrelated for real.
Yeah.
Jamaica's a small island.
Yeah. Especially when it comes to last names, you can never take anything for granted, man.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, but that's the nature of things, man.
Right.
The four was me, my brother, and my two nephews were like the foundation of Anthem. Then we brought in a guy, Rob, the lead singer on Good to Be There.
Right.
Yeah, his band broke up, and he kept on coming around the band and singing.
Rob has my salute, boy. I gotta tell you.
Yeah, yeah.
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 So when did the original Anthem? When was that original band created? What year?
Okay, now you're dating me, but I would say Anthem itself, with the name and everything, is like 87.
87. Okay.
That's how long we've been around. Yeah, 1987.
Right.
At that point, let's see. I think I knew Jerry, but he wasn't part of the situation yet. I went to Japan. Should I wait for that part? I tell you how I met Jerry.
All right, tell your story. Go for it.
Because Jerry was a part of Wackies, you know.
Okay.
He was a member of Abashanti, which was Sugar Minot's band.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I actually used to see Jerry playing for a lot of different people.
Right.
Jerry played for everybody from Big Mountain, Steel Pulse.
Right.
So the list goes on and on and on and on. And I used to, when I was younger, them 17 years old, I used to be in the dance hall. I used to be everywhere, the stage shows. You couldn't keep me home, you know. I thought I was missing something if I was at home. So I was everywhere. So I remember the first time I saw Tom and Jerry, which is Jerry Johnson, Kevin Batchelor.
Okay.
Who's the band? Who's the band? He's shaking his head. Who's the band? Oh man, there's a band out of New York, and with the twins. Jerry's muted, so he can't say that.
Nah, it's Calabash.
Calabash, yes. There you go.
Okay.
I was at a show in Brooklyn, and I saw the two of them playing the horns on that show. And the most impressive thing to me was the horn section.
Okay.
I love horns. Yeah, so what happened, I got home, I was telling my brother Charles, I was like, yo, I saw Calabash play. I'm not exactly sure who they were backing. I remember one night I saw them playing in Gunshot Fireman, you know, them downstairs type club where, oh my goodness, man. Jerry, you know what I'm talking about in Brooklyn. You know, even that skating rink or arena, I forget what they call it, Olympic, or I forget the name of it. Back in the day, when you enter these places, you're not sure to come out, you know.
Skip a beat.
Yeah. You run your risk. I kind of chuckled because I remember seeing Brigadier Jerry, you know, on stage. He had on shades, he took up his shades, he's looking around. He's not running, there's gunshot going on, you know. He's looking around to see where the gunshot coming from.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's the day when I first saw Jerry. But it's one of them kind of gigs though, where, you know, I'm thinking it was like a downstairs type of atmosphere, but I'm not sure. But yeah, in any event, I told my brother about it.
Yeah.
Next time we went to see Calabash, they had a horn section, but it wasn't Jerry and Kevin. I was like, oh my God. So it wasn't the same thing. Eventually, when I went to Japan with Jackie Mitto and Roy and everything, Jerry and Kevin was with us. And me and Jerry, I knew Jerry from before that. We was friends from before that, but that's when I really got to know Jerry. And he started playing horns for us after we got back from Japan. That was back in, what is that? I think we went in, what was that, 89 we went, Jerry?
Yeah, I got with the band in like 89, 1990, right when my son was born, sometime there.
Yeah, it was before your son was born, but yeah. I remember.
So 89, yeah.
Them time
Yo,
an
yo,
old
yo, yo,
school
yo,
guy.
yo, yo.
He was an old man to us, you know, because we was all
Chill with the numbers, yo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were dating me, so I had to get you to, you know. I'm paying it forward, Jerry. Sorry. Yeah. And that's the beginning of a long and lasting friendship from way back when we went to Japan together.
Jesus. I mean, you mentioned people like Jackie Matu as well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was my boy. Hey, Jerry, remember all the trouble Jackie was giving?
Yeah, if he love you, he love you. But if you're on his other side, boy, he let you know. He just stay on your case, you know.
Oh my God! See, them time I was still young too, you know, and I think I was 21 at the time. I'm not sure. I was either 21 or 23.
Right.
But I remember in rehearsal, Jackie would say, "Hold on. Coozie, give me a B flat." You know? Yo, that tune, man, yo, that tune. And then he would stop. And he'd leave the rehearsal, you know, and go get a drink and come back. I think he used to use me as a scapegoat, you know, really. And then he was always on Ronnie's case, the drummer.
Oh, Lord.
Over to me, he said, "Look on him at Ulfi. he had a furry hat. He said, Ulfi. I am that to the Ulfi. Oh, man, he had something against Ronnie.
Wow. Wow.
Jackie was a trip, man. I love Jackie. You know, I got his telephone number meanwhile we were over there, and we became friends. He was living in Canada.
Right.
Yeah. So up until that's the thing. But like 2 years after we came back, he passed, which was a crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was my friend, man. You know, so it hurt me. You know, a lot of these people that passed, like Uroy, you know, friend. You know, Uroy gave me all his digits too, man. For, when he was in California and Jamaica. That was one of the people that me and Jerry went over to Japan with.
So let me ask you another question. Anthem Band, was it designed to be a backing band, or you know, what sort of band, what sort of vision did you have for Anthem Band initially?
We never, ever wanted to be a backing band. You know, some people go into it with the whole idea of like, that's just what they want to do. Like, I remember speaking to Derek Barnett one time, which is a friend of mine. He says that's all he wants to do. He just wants to back. He doesn't really want to be an artist. He enjoys doing what he does, and more power to him, you know?
I know him. I know Derek.
Yeah, a friend of mine. I can call him friend. But Derek is a guy that called me and asked me, you know, where Anthem is playing, because he wants to come up and he'll drive from New York to Connecticut or wherever and come to the band, you know. So I'm a friend, you know.
Yeah.
As I said, we never had the idea of being a backing band, but sometimes it's a means to an end. You know, it's like you can get in front of a large audience when you're backing somebody, and hopefully they'll allow you to open the show so you can show what you can do. You know, and if you're lucky, you can go back as, you know, a band that can play on the same festival or whatever without that artist.
Right. Because I know of, I mean, there's been some bands in the past, like, for instance, bands like, what's the name of this band now? It's been in my head. There's a band from the UK, one of the first bands.
There's Black Slate, there's
Geechee's band. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, the
Cimarrons. Like Cimarrons, which is one of UK's first bands, didn't intend to be a backing band. However, they got labeled as a backing band because they backed too many people, you know?
Yeah, that can happen.
You know? Do you feel Anthem gets trapped, or do you feel like you're on the edge?
Probably on the edge. Because we didn't do a lot.
From my pair of eyes, I see Anthem as, to me personally, that I see Anthem as one of the best bands in the US that I've heard. I love your guys' vibration and everything. And I've seen Rob, the lead singer for the band, right? He's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now, I do see that you've done a lot of backing. So at times my mind says, Anthem band, backing band. But then I pull myself away and I say, wait, they're not a backing band. Well, are they a backing band? Or maybe they're trying to do both. Can both coexist?
Not really. I don't think so. I really don't think so because I mean, you can
And share with me, what is the danger of being a backing band?
Yeah, I think when you get labeled as a backing band, people won't go to see you as like the main artist. They'll be like, dry like that, just Anthem. I've heard that before, you know. A guy actually mentioned that same word, dry, Anthem, dry. So I'm like, oh my goodness, because he expected that we would be backing somebody. I'm like, yeah, you know, what's the meaning of that? You don't think that we can carry the show by ourselves? You know, yeah, so that's the thing, you know. It's kind of hard for a band in a way to operate because, for instance, now, it was said to me many times, like, if we wanted to tour the UK, it's like 5 to 6 people that they got to pay for tickets, you know, room and transportation and everything. Whereas if it's one person, they can take that person and match them up with a band in the UK, you know? Same thing here. Like, for instance, now we, time to time, we back Luciano. When he's on the West Coast, he uses a band over there. When he's on this side, he'll use our band, you know? So a solo artist is easier to move around, you know, promoters tell me that, you know, so it's harder for a band that way. But one good thing about having a band is that when you have a band, it's like you have a machine, self-lubricated, you know what I'm saying, that you can just move. You don't have to look for a band, you know, and like we have a PA system too. So, you know, from somebody hires us, boom, you have everything right there.
Right.
I'm moving from that PA thing out of that though, where, you know, they have to provide everything, man. But yeah, the backing band thing, if you notice, I mean, you're not on this side, so you wouldn't see how many shows we do and all that, but we don't do a lot of backing shows. We don't.
Right.
I especially like since certain people that were in the band, they used to love the backing stuff and used to book the backing stuff is not here right now. A lot of times I opt not to do it anymore. My friend there, Jerry's still here. He knows. he's one of the first to tell you, man, yo, don't call him if we do the backing show.
Nah. Nah. It's a lot of work. But you have some artists that are real cool, you know? That, that are real cool. And then you have some that are not as cool. And, you know, you like, damn, do I really, you know, want to go through this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you know, I won't mention the artist. I think you guys know who it is. But there was one artist that treated Anthem like garbage one time. From rehearsal, the man don't know it, so he treated us like, boy, you know, some stepchild that I wanted, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, from rehearsal. And then to have such a big show too, you know, in front of us with Stephanie Mills and big artists, Trey Songz, you know, Marsha Montana and all. I'm like, come on, man, this big show, you're not even gonna come to say hello to the band. Not even that. Come on, you know, treat us like garbage. And from that, it's like back into me, no matter who it is not a thing that I really want to do. I mean, you have people to me that are really cool, like Jerry just said, Luciano is a cool guy.
Yeah.
I remember Luciano coming to me many times, Coozie, when I get paid, when I get money, make sure I say, you know, everything is good. You guys get food. The man all bring food in our room too, you know, big plate of food, like, yo. And our room, cause he has his room, Yeah. But he makes sure the food is in our room, and he comes to our room to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cool guy. People like that, I like working with because you look out for the bad and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He really trusts us too. Luciano says, "Yo, we're at the airport." Luciano says, "Yo, I got 3 songs I want to add to the list. You guys don't know the tunes, but look them up on YouTube. We're heading to Bermuda. We're at the airport, and the show, the show is later on. He doesn't come to sound check or nothing. He said, "Boy, we have the show going on. I want you to learn these 3 songs. The song them have changes too. I was like, oh my god." We've never rehearsed with Luciano, and we toured with him. Never rehearsed with him. He really trusts us.
Really?
Oh wow. Oh wow.
That's having faith. He believed in you guys. You see that? You see what I'm saying? That's respect. That's respect, though.
Yeah.
Seriously, that is respect. As crazy as it is, that is a big respect. We're like, no, they're good. They got it. Wow.
Yeah, we've gotten respect from certain people that I wouldn't expect it from. Like even Marcia Griffith, she's a person that can handle people way too. I've heard her complain about band on a microphone. Meanwhile, she's on stage with them. Yeah, she's a lovely person too. When she's on the right side.
On a good side, yeah.
I can find a video and show you on stage, but just why you're drum. Oh my God.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. And I remember she says that she really don't let anybody play that electric slide for her. She usually just run the track.
Right.
She let us play it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Shaka Demus and Pliers that tease me, tease me, tease me, tease me, baby. They say that they usually run a track with that. They let us play it, because they heard how it was going out. And so
Anthem to the globe, man. I said anthem to the globe.
Yeah, thanks. But it's a long journey, and we've had ups and downs because we've even had a record deal and everything that was short-lived. It was with the jazz label.
Right.
And we got in there it was a rough time, they were going through some changes, and the guy that signed us, he wasn't there for that long. He was there for months after we got signed. When he was out, we were out, I hear that's how it goes with record labels too, the big labels. When your representation is gone, you don't have any representation.
That's right.
Even Denroy Morgan was telling me that when they recorded for, I think it was RCA or something like that, they didn't know, the people didn't really know what to do with their album. They had to get bought out of there, They were at record companies sitting down. Nothing was going on for them, And that's why they went with VPs.
Is that when he did I'll Do Anything for You?
Yeah, that's way before that.
Okay. After, okay.
Yeah. I think that tune was that 81 or 84. I think it was like 80. I remember when it first came out.
Yeah.
I never knew it was him for years, many years. I didn't.
I had
no I was shocked. And I didn't know. I had no idea. Like the song, been to the clubs when we used to go to the club. And you dance to the music, like, this is the, I had no idea.
Anybody that knows me knows that Denroy was one of my best friends.
Yeah.
He was, I went with him to a VP's, and I was there saying basically the same thing that Chris was saying. Chris says to me, you see this man here? He's my spiritual father. He's my friend. He just ran down a list of things that Denroy is to him, And to most people that know Denroy, that's who he was. He's a man that you can sit down and listen to. And he was a kind person, a very giving person.
Yeah.
And when he was like close to passing, he never told me. I hadn't seen Denroy when he went to Jamaica and got trapped down there during the COVID times. Yeah, so by the time he was ready to come back here, he was in Lawrenceville, Georgia, right? That's where his wife lives. That's where Laza lives. And he came up and he wanted me to go to VP's with him. And I totally forgot. And then he called me again. Okay, we're going to a show in New York. I totally forgot. And it was summertime. You know, summertime for reggae over here in the United States. Busy.
Yeah,
I'm lucky to have any days off because we go down to Maryland. We play for like 3-4 days. We come back. We have shows during the week, and every weekend is busy. So my days off, I'm either sleeping, catching some rest, trying to get some family time or whatever. You know, so yeah. So when Denroy was calling me to do stuff, it's like, you know, just like a bad time. But I would talk to him, he'd call me, and last time I spoke to him, he was sounding really tired. So I says, you know, Denroy, I'm gonna let you go, because he didn't say, you know, what was going on with him or anything. He just sounded tired. I said, maybe I called you too late or something. You sound tired. You know, but he calls me to say, Coozie, you okay? You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. You know, passing of my wife and everything. He'd always pray for me on the phone, you know, give me words of encouragement and stuff like that. So after him sounding tired, Yuna called me, you know, his daughter from Oregon Heritage, told me what was going on. I was like, wow, I had no idea. And days after that, Denroy passed, you know. Yeah, world kind of changed with that too, because he's a good friend, you know. Even if it's just talk, we're talking and not doing music or whatever, you know. It's somebody that I can lean on, you know, talk to about anything, you know, whether it even be politics or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was really down to earth.
Yeah.
Very much so, you know. It's stuff that me and Denroy would discuss, his family issues, mine, whatever. You know, I still actually have music for Denroy that we were working on that I didn't even know I had.
Right.
I really, you know, because somebody asked me if I had music for him. I said no. And I was going through my computer. I'm like, oh wow, oh okay. Like I forgot.
Right.
But
and this is unreleased music. You're saying were they finished or?
It's stuff that it wasn't finished, but he voiced it, you know. I have a song, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna remix it that I did, and I just got Denroy on there talking like in the beginning and in the middle, you know. I had an idea one day. Actually, it's funny. Rob's did something. He said na 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 na, and from that I said, you know something, I'm gonna use that melody. I put, I call on Jaja in times of trouble. What I will do, I call on Jaja. Jah is for me, Jah is for you. Yeah. And I got Denroy speaking a couple of words, and I sing, you know. And so one of these days, I'm gonna change up the music. Every now and then I have like different ideas and stuff. So I think I can make it better, and I'll release it. Hopefully the family won't give me no trouble.
Yeah.
Believe me, I hear a lot of different things because, like, for instance, now I know people that know Toots. I knew Toots through Denroy, and Toots grew up together. You know, they were best friends. Anytime Toots was in the area, me and Denroy would go and we'd be backstage. As a matter of fact, Toots's people were there saying, yo, we would love if Denroy manages Toots, because his manager had gotten sick, Mike Keisha, which was another friend of mine. I knew him really well. That's another guy. You guys, maybe you never heard of him, but Mike Keisha used to manage Toots and Maytels. And he used to come see our band in New York. He said, boy, you love my band. I didn't even know. One day he just approached me and we became friends. I was like, wow, it's good to know. Like the guy that I like to move it. Mad stunt man. He's a friend of mine. He came up to me one day. He's like, "Yo," he comes to see Anthem all the time. He's a big fan. Yeah, so he came down and did a show for us one time. For me, you know, he was doing a little something. She was a part of the American Legion, which is like all them vets, you know, Army and, you know, military vets. They get together and do whatever they do. So he came and he did a show for me for that, for little to nothing. You know, he didn't even want to get paid, but I had to give him something. Friend, you know what I'm saying? And as Jerry, you know, I don't like to pay my friends. It's all that free sax work.
Cheap. Nah, we don't charge each other. We just work it out. Yeah.
Jerry is subject to abuse all the time, you know. I gotta pick him softly, like Jerry. Yeah, I call him and we talk about everything. And I was like, yeah, by the way.
By the way, here it come now.
Before you,
by the way,
I gotta send you an MP3.
Yeah, it's all good though.
You know something? God knows. I talked to him about it before. I'm looking forward to doing an album with Jerry. We have like at least 3 songs so far. I know one is original, a song, and we have For the Love of You. Now that I'm living for the love of you. Yeah, I got Jerry on. Yeah, Jerry's the main guy on that, man. I got him on that and Make It With You.
Yeah.
What's that by again? Bread or something like that? I want to. You know that tune? I really think that we can make it, girl.
I really think that we can make it. I think
Yeah.
I know it.
I think that I think JC Lodge did a cover on that too. I think, you know. I think
there's been quite a few who've done it.
There's been a few people, but yeah, one of my classics. One of my
Yeah. We have the instrumental. It came out really good.
I bet. And drifting on a memory.
Yeah. We got those instrumentals. So
yeah.
It's only 3. I'm only up to 3 with Jerry. So let me see if I can get like 7. Jerry's very elusive.
Oh, Jerry, pulling you out there, Jerry.
Yeah, you guys tell Jerry that he needs to finish the album with me.
Elusive. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're gonna work it out. We're gonna work it out.
I came up with a rhythm meanwhile we're doing the interview, you know, so
No, I gotta say right now I got like 15 or 14 CDs out. Right. But after I like chilled from Wackies, I could say Coozie, like, he set me up on my first 3 like independent outside of Wackies was Just Coolin', Brass Roots, and Reggae Vibes. Yeah, I did all those at Coozie's house. That was like he like, you know, got me started on the independent side, you know, because back then we didn't really have no studio to go to, you know. But when he got his, I went up there. Just Coolin' is still, people are still playing it today. Trust me. Him and his brother, they really did some work on it. And then the other 2 just fell into place, you know? And then and then I got the A room. And then I got my studio.
You know, he's trying to say that my room is like the C room or something like that. The B, the C. Downgrade.
Yeah, we always joke like that. I make a lot of enemies like that, but I got my studio, and then we work back and forth together. You know what I mean?
Sugar Minott album.
Yeah, the Sugar Minott album too. Yeah, he laid like all the rhythm tracks for me, you know. But I couldn't get Sugar to come there, so you know. But the foundation was set by Coozie, you know. I just told him which rhythm, and he licked the rhythm, and I did all the horns up by Coozie. Yeah. So Coozie, he lit the fuse, you know.
Right.
Yeah. My boy, him and his brother Charles, man, they really look out up to this day. All Charles up to this day, he's a good guy, you know. He always pulled me
Charles
through.
is my right arm, you know. By the way, you know, a lot of times he goes unsung. It's like, I don't know. I basically. He started all of us on recording, right, Jerry?
Yeah. Up to this day, I call him when I have problems, man. I wake the guy up 2 a.m, man. Like, yo, Charles, the screen here, Hey, like, hold on, let me turn on my computer, man. Yeah. Charles is the man, yo.
I'm hoping that someday people recognize his value because he's a musician. He's a genius, whether he knows it or not, because he knows like so much about the computer and how to work these programs. And if it wasn't for him, I don't think any of us would actually have our own studio because he started us off.
Yeah.
Everything that we know to do is because of him, and we still call him.
Yeah. And his graphics, all the CD covers he's done for me, like 99% of them.
Yeah. So he's somewhat a genius, right?
Yeah. In the shadows.
Right.
Yeah, he helps us all out, man.
I want to come back to Coozie though, because you've done so much stuff that I don't feel, and maybe it's just me in my head, but you don't get a lot of credit for a lot of the works you do. And you've got a lot of work out there. There's so much stuff that I can, pick on, and he's like, wait, Coozie.
There's a lot of stuff my name is not even on, which isn't fair, but it's just how it is.
Is that due to lack of business ethic, or what is that down to? I don't know. I'm just saying it like it is.
That's the first thing. But boy, I remember being on an interview before, and a guy asked me, "Is there any Jamaican labels?" I said, "Yeah, there's a few." He says, "No, there's not."
Yeah.
and I'm like, I named a few, and he says to me, "You said that you had a record deal before, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He says that did any of these small labels operate the way that label operates? I says, "No." So he says, "Well, there you have it." So a lot of reggae labels, they say they're reggae labels, but what are they really? They don't operate like a real label would. So a lot of things get overlooked, like even somebody's name that played on a rhythm. Now, one time I did at least say 8, 10 or more tracks on a reel to reel that was mine. I bought the tape, and the tape ended up in Jamaica at Sugar Minott Studio. When I done all of the rhythm and Sugar put a whole bunch of people on the rhythm them, I got no credit whatsoever. And if you were to play the music for me now, I couldn't even tell you that it is me. I don't know. A lot of stuff that I did at Wackies. I remember one time I laid a rhythm and I left the studio. The very next day that I went back with my band to voice the rhythm. There wasn't enough tracks to voice a song for myself. There was what's his name? Shalom was on there. There was this a whole bunch of different artists on the rhythm. Imagine I laid the rhythm for me and my album. I go back.
And already he's got people.
Yeah, so the tape full up in a Coozie. I can't even put a song on the rhythm. Oh my God! I gotta laugh. But if that's the way like a label really operate, but no, I got to give a love to where I'm coming from. That's just the way things operate. That's how it was. So I mean. These are things that I was going through.
Yeah.
So, like I say, even a rhythm like that, a tune can become a hit tune, and you might not even know, say, I had anything to do with it, because now you find, say, I'm not even on the rhythm.
And I tell you what, you've been going through that for a while, and you're still going through it. Right? So what do you feel you need to do? Because when we started, I said your band is one of the best bands I've heard out of the United States. I don't say that loosely. It is what it is. And, the proof is in the pudding. Anybody can go online to check you guys out, right down to the entire band, to even your lead singer. I take my hat off to that guy. So all of you combined are great, and you can sing. A lot of you are just the full 9 yards. Yeah. So when you know you're the full 9 yards, when we say you're the bee's knees here in the UK, you're the creme de la creme. Without the crap, there's no creme in it. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you need to do to safeguard yourself and your music and all the stuff that you're doing? Because it's time to get paid for what you do, right? And get recognized for it. And for some reason, you're not doing that. So my question to you is, why do you fail to secure your great works that you do?
I think there's two things in what you just said. But one thing I know, it may sound strange, but talent in the music business a lot of times don't mean anything. A lot of people have talent. You know, I've heard some really great singers that nobody knows about. I've heard some horrible bands, horrible singers that actually have record deals. I don't want to name some of them that I don't, respect as a singer, but you have some, man. And, most of the people, 9 out of 10 of the people that I know that have made it, like even Denroy, it's just by chance, Denroy was at a rehearsal, his own rehearsal. Somebody was passing by outside and heard his voice and said that his voice is unique. The guy, Denroy didn't write, "I'll do anything for you." The guy wrote it.
Okay.
I forget the name of the band that the guy was from with a big horn section.
Yeah.
But
I think it was Crown Heights Affair. It might have been.
Crown Heights Affair.
Crown Heights Affair. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
The guy he was just passing by. And Denroy is at rehearsal. He heard Denroy's voice. Wrote a song for Denroy to sing. Denroy hit #1. And that's how he made it. Okay. I got 2 other friends that did a show in the same place that we used to play all the time, but we haven't played in a while, in the Hamptons. They were playing there, and a guy was in the audience. I always forget his name, but he's a famous DJ. And he's like, I like these guys. A friend of mine that used to play bass for me, he was playing bass and he was singing. And a guy named Dollarman was the artist at the time that he was backing. There was only like 3 or 4 of them as musicians, jamming, And the guy's like, guy in the audience wrote a song, something like Love Generation or something like that. He gave it to one Drop, called himself Ross Dropper now, to sing. But Drop was on tour with Anthony B. He used to play bass for Anthony B. Okay. So he's like, he doesn't have the time, excuse me, to go and do this recording and everything. So he gave it to Gary Pine. Gary Pine sang the song. That song became a monster hit. Gary Pine sang that song at the World Cup.
Okay.
Gary Pine, right after that, bought himself a house and basically, doing his thing now. He got money. Tour. One time, you couldn't see Pine again, man. I mean, he used to be with the Wailers. He stopped singing for the Wailers, at that point. And then Dollarman, MTV, you see him live on some big stage shows and stuff like that. This tune, it goes, "Everybody dance now."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he did the remix. Same song, same music, but you got the Jamaican guy on there now. I don't know if you ever, the Knicks games, they'll play it every now and then, So Dollarman come to my show and he says to the bartender, yo, I want the most expensive drink you have for my brethren Coozie. I'm like, I don't drink, So, it don't even make no sense. But I said, yo, Coozie, I'm rich, And I'm saying, this stuff is through just pure coincidence. A lot of times people say, boy, get your CD together, get all your music together, get your package, do this, do that. You know, you get all of the things in a row that you need, you know, and you never make it. And then somebody else is just by chance. Everybody that I've known, I could go story after story. Everybody that I've known is just by chance. There was someplace, you know, even Sister Carol told me how she jumped on stage. Judy Moore was performing. She jumped on stage. Somebody was in the audience said, yo, I want you for that movie, Something Wild. She started acting. She got herself a little movie thing going, you know, just jumping on stage. All coincidence, you know. You have other people that they're going to acting school, they're doing this, they're doing that, and can't get a job.
Right. That's true.
By coincidence, somebody else does one little thing and boom. So basically, like I'm saying, so in the music business, I don't know. If I could have done better, I would have done better. Like I said, we had a deal already, and you know, the guy got fired, you know, a couple months later, and we sat around for a while, and then they got rid of us because it was a jazz label, you know, reggae acted a jazz label. They didn't know what to do with us. They told us straight up, you know, the guy that did is not here anymore. We have no idea, you know, so it's just business with them, you know.
Right.
So, I mean, that was our one opportunity to do big things. At that point, they had us on stage, you know, Dionne Warwick, Burt Bacharach, you know, those kind of concerts we're doing, you know, stuff like that, you know, because it's a jazz label. It was fun and everything, but they didn't really have a clue of what to do with reggae business. And I didn't mind because it was fun, you know, and you could mix that stuff because the audience actually enjoyed us, you know.
So let me ask you before I hand to Sharon, how have you been able to do all this touring and keep a family life at the same time, especially during the time when your wife was still alive and you know you got your girls with you and all that kind of stuff? How were you able to do all that?
Well, you know what? It really isn't easy because, as Denroy used to always tell me, you have to find a balance. He put that in one of his songs too, balance. So we used to always joke, balance. You know, always bring that word up. And nowadays, I really focus on a balance. You have to have that family time. You know, I got 4 children, but 2 of them are teenagers now. And I think they were like 13 and 15, something like that, when wifey passed away. And, you know, it was really rough on them. But, you know, before that, she was around. So she was taking care of the girls. And when I wasn't on the road, I was at home, you know, I wasn't like running around into the clubs and stuff like that, you know. So family first, you know. But yeah, balance is like the biggest thing. You know, you have to find that time where, you know, take them out to eat. Amusement park or whatever, just to hang out, you know, whether, you know, go to the beach or whatever, you know. And I used to bring my girls into the studio to sing background. The older one out of the 2 youngest, she sang on the Christmas album. I don't know if you guys have the Christmas album, but I gotta send it to you.
Brianna.
No, not that one. That's my oldest girl, but I'm talking about the young ones. There's Jasa and Crystal.
Okay.
And they
No,
both,
I didn't hear that one. I want it. I didn't hear it.
she's amazing. Jerry actually did the instrumental of it too.
Right.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Yeah, she sang that. And
Oh, I think Sleepy sent me it.
okay, yeah, he probably did.
Sleepy sent me it. Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, both versions came out awesome, man. You know, vocal and the instrumental. Of course, you know, I put on the guitar on there too to lively it up a little bit, you know. Watch his face. Nah, Jerry. Jerry's awesome. At one point I was gonna do it just all guitar, but I was like, man, you know, I
Yeah.
think that you would do a really great job on this thing.
Yeah.
Where I run out of ideas, Jerry is there.
Right.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
The dynamic duo.
Yeah, I think we work. I think we work really well together.
Yeah.
Jerry's downfall will be looking the other way, you know, trying to move on.
No, we good.
I remember the time when I came to New York for the first time, and Charmaine said, "Listen, B, you gotta come down to." Remind me the name of the club I met you guys.
Mingles.
That's it. And not knowing Mingles was owned by an Englishman, right?
Yeah.
So I wasn't told what the dress code was. So I go down there in my fly hat because I've got my best hat on. And, you know, I came with a camera because I said I'm coming there to take some pics and all that kind of stuff. So I'm there, and for some reason, the security wouldn't let me in. It goes, you cannot come in with your hat or your camera. And I'm saying to myself, I spent money on this hat. There's no way I'm throwing it away. I've got to come in one way or the other. Anyway, I get hold of Charmaine, and eventually Charmaine and Coozie come out and say, hey, you got to let him in. And both of them get me in. And as a matter of fact, the owner of the club comes out and says, here's my brother. And he's an Englishman, you know. And I'm saying, wait, you own this club? He goes, yeah, this is my club. And I go, oh, okay then. He goes, well, since I'm your brother, that means I come in there. He goes, yep. And that's how I got into Mingles. And I got to meet, I met Saxman for the first time, and I think he was about to go on stage with Coozie. And as a matter of fact, I think Coozie's the only person who I didn't get a picture with.
Yeah, imagine that.
Imagine. Because you were busy on stage, because the minute you left the front door, you were back on stage again.
Yeah, being a band leader, I got a lot of things to do.
Yeah.
And I was bringing a whole bunch of different artists on that day.
Right.
Denroy was there that day too, right? Didn't he perform that day too?
Say that again?
I think Denroy performed that day too. Denroy Morgan?
Denroy did, yeah. I met him as well, yeah.
Looper performed that day. A whole lot of people. You came there at the right time.
I did.
It was a friend of mine, Gypsy, her birthday. And I brought in a lot of people to come in, bless the day.
I think even Rocky's daughter sang on stage, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Sky Barnes.
That's it.
Yeah. She sang a song that I produced for her. Two, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. Two of them. I think that she's going to come out with an album at some point. And I have a few songs. Wacky's actually wanted me to produce a whole album with her. And I may finish the album soon. You know, I was the one that kind of backed off for a while.
Right.
Yeah, there's a funny story why, he didn't really want you in more or less with the camera. You know, the hat is one thing, but the camera, man and man come in there with people that aren't their people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? So if you're in there with a video camera and stuff like, he already had an incident there where somebody came down to the club because they see their people down there with somebody else.
That's right. That's right. That was the thing. It's true. He's right. I used to go there. Yeah.
Is it, Sharon?
Yeah. It's true.
He let people in before that came to video us. He said, "Boy, keep the camera on the band. If you ever put it on the audience."
Yeah. Please clear out.
Exactly. Where are the boss?
That's true.
I had no idea that Oh, they said, no, can't do that, can't do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, mess around and then, yeah, like Jerry said, plays clear out. White people down there. Yeah,
Sharon.
Oh
but
my gosh. Yes, so
well, yeah, back to me. Let me give you a little history. We can go on joke and stuff, but yeah, as I said, over at Wackies, I met so many people. It's crazy, you know. And I say, Jackie Mittu was one of the most interesting to me as well. There's another guy I miss, you know. But it was a place that I really launched myself into the music business because a lot of people that are coming up, they don't know what to do. But my foot was in the door before I was really even. I don't know. I really wasn't ready. I'm telling you the truth. When I got there, I was just learning. You know, I could play bass, but I was trying to sing at the time. You know, key thing was killing me, and boy, I was. You know, Wackies had a lot of faith in me. He saw something that I didn't. Not even me, you know, it's something I wanted to do, but Wackies, that's why I got to give him a lot of respect for that because, you know, he sent me to Japan twice, you know, and he had me working with people that, you know, when I was doubting myself, Wackies was like, nah, go do it, you know, because you have the talent. And a lot of times when he introduced me, he said, it's not a great Coozie Miller, you know. So you see all this youth here, man. And I'm like, wow, I really appreciate the way he talks about me. So for years and years, he had me over there. You know, I worked Max Romeo. I played on one of his albums. E. Scratch Perry. Um, you know, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And in the meanwhile, I was doing stuff with Anthem where, let me see, started a band when I was 17. The band broke up. We got back together, broke up, got back together. But we eventually landed, when I was in my 20s, we landed the Women of Reggae tour. And that really was the thing that got us the job at SOBs. They loved us. So we was at SOBs all the time. And even Jerry and Neville Anderson, those were two horn players we had in the band at the time. Kevin was doing his own thing. But one time we had like 9 people in the band. I looked at the picture, I was like, "Damn, we're gonna hardly fit the people in the picture, you know." But I love the horn section.
But didn't you guys used to play not SOBs, BB Kings too?
No. The only BB Kings we ever played is Foxwoods in Connecticut. But that was a place that I want to get into certain places, you know, like Sony Hall and stuff like that. So
yeah,
we got to give them a check, man. I see people playing there that, you know, so yeah. So we got to do our thing. Yeah, as I said, Rob was in this band in Bridgeport, and they broke up. The band had so many. They were really unorganized. When they would go on stage, they would announce the next singer that's coming on. They used to do it like everybody was a different act, and they were. I don't know. I don't know. They were really unorganized. I could see why they would break up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we brought Rob in, and when he first came in the band, he was kind of shy, you know, hands in his pockets and stuff like that. But as time went by, he really started to shine, man. I think that,
You wouldn't have thought that.
No.
yeah, I think he's a lot different than a lot of the entertainers out there that I see doing reggae because he moves differently. You know what I'm saying? He does the basically American stuff that they would do. You know, when you see Rob on stage, you know that the guy commands the stage.
Yeah.
And then he has that voice. A lot of people don't know he won on the Apollo Theater. He actually won. Yeah, his prize was to tour with Blue Magic and, you know.
Blue Magic.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I didn't know that at first, but yeah. Very, very talented. And I don't know. He's still with us, man. He calls me every day. You know, we haven't done anything in a while because I was saying I wasn't going to do anything until I had the surgery. And then I got like 7 weeks that I can't really lift anything before.
That's right.
I can,
That's right.
yeah.
7 weeks. Well, make sure you take the 7 week.
I went outside yesterday. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I brought my dog out, little dog. And you know, he's a good dog, so he's not trying to. He's not on his leash, and he's walking back and forth. And then I saw a cat. And the cats are bigger than he is, so I picked him up, and then I had him up for like 10 minutes or so in my arms. And then I thought about it. I was like, I'm not supposed to be lifting anything, you know, and this dog is 10 pounds. That's my weight limit, the 10 pounds. So I said, boy, maybe I'm good because it's a little over 2 weeks. Maybe I'm good, but I'm not. The first doctor told me 5 pounds is my limit for 5 weeks. The second doctor says 10 pounds.
Right.
So we'll go with the second doctor. But I won't be lifting this dog up anymore, you know. So that's why if I keep in the house, I'm less likely to make mistakes, you know, because a man is going to be a man. You know what I'm saying? It's just put in your brain that these are the things you do.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, whether it's like to even grab the refrigerator and push it over to the side, or you know, just certain things that you just normally do.
Yep, none of that.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to stay inside to not tempt myself to do something that I'm not supposed to do, and not really.
Let me come to before our time runs out. I want to get as much of your history as possible. One of the things I want to come to is a sensitive topic, which is, you know, you shared with us, you know, at the time when your wife passed on. You know, how were you able to cope with all that, and you know, share with us as much as you want to share with us, because you're going through a difficult time, and especially with your girls and stuff. How were you able to get through all that?
Wifey was special, you know, and the funny thing is, before I met her, I used to run around a lot. I'm a musician, you know, it's in my face all the time, you know, and I don't know. I never even wanted to meet like somebody that I would marry at one of my shows, but I actually met her at a show, and she was different. You know, she was just different, and I don't know. I've actually had people in my life that even treat me better than she did. You know what I'm saying? But there was just something about her that was special, and we were together for a while, and I figured, you know, something, I don't really want to lose her, so I married her. And she loved music. I used to take her with me at first when we just got together. I took her everywhere. Everywhere, man. You know, she loved music, you know, she loved what I do, and she was a big supporter. So, you know, I tell people as well, like sometimes I'd be in the studio. I had a room on the other side of the house, and she would come in there with her laptop, and she'd sit down and she'd do her thing me while I'm making music. It'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, just to keep me company.
Yeah.
And, you know, them little things there make me even love her more, you know, because she really supported the band. And even when she passed away, I realized that her password on her computer was Anthem. You know, she really supported the band. So I actually wanted to quit the music business when she passed. God knows, you know, many reasons, but her passing was like the biggest reason. Like, you know, she was one of the reasons that even kept me in it, because she loved my music so much. She loved, sometimes she would give me lyrics to songs. Sometimes like I'd be writing a song and she's like, oh, you took a bad turn. Yeah, so I gotta figure out something, and you know, sometimes I gotta go right back to the drawing board because she didn't like it, you know. And big supporter, and whether Jerry knew it or not, she was a really big Jerry Johnson fan. She used to, I mean, she used to call me her second husband I had to always tell Jerry, you need to take this woman.
So Jerry's only hearing this for the first time?
Nah. She used to tease me. She used to say, "Hey, Coozie, me and Jerry gonna start our own band," you know. she
would
fired
play-
Coozie.
Yeah, she'd play Jerry's music at the place that she used to hang out at all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had like full control of that place, man. She ran the bar over there and the music section and everything.
Right.
And she would be rinsing Jerry Johnson all the time. Jerry may not know that, but I would go there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I would go there, man, and it's just Jerry Johnson playing, you know. Them
Right.
people, they probably got sick and tired of hearing Jerry Johnson. She would play in her car when she's driving. She was a big Jerry Johnson fan. Loved it.
Yeah, she's good girl.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
How did you get through those tough times, you know?
yeah. Let me mention my boy. He used to call himself Janine. Now he calls himself Quadamawi. I had a discussion with him, Quadamawi now, because I was like, you know, no matter if you had the name first and even put out music under that name, you know, she has a name and she might even sue you for, for the name.
Yeah.
So the reason I mentioned him, he buried his daughter the same day that I buried my wife.
Oh,
We were going through the same thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good guy. He's a great artist.
Mm-hmm.
And he sounds a little bit like Sizzler, like a combination of Sizzler and Warrior King between them. The guy's a great artist. You know, I was watching a video with him in rehearsal. Like, wow, just the rehearsal sound masterful. It's really good. But yeah, we spoke about it the way we feel. And he says that like it's his one child. She was in college. His wife can't have kids anymore. So it's like that's just it for him. You know, and boy, it was very hard for him to get over that. And we were going through the same thing. So he'd call me and the two of us would be on the phone talking about how we felt, you know. And I got a lot of phone calls about it, man. You know, I was there crying on the phone to people and stuff. Even Sharon Pike, she called me, man. I bawled on the phone when she called me. I was running a video that I saw wifey dancing with her mother and stuff. Her mother impersonates Tina Turner.
Okay.
So every year on her birthday, they would do this thing in New Jersey. And boy, I would be the chauffeur. You know, I got to open the door and everything. Tina, people are yeah. I walk them into the club and stuff like that, man. I video it and everything. I'm like, oh man, this really gets into character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it and it brought tears to my eyes. I'm not even sure if I can watch it all now. It's going to take years. I don't think I'll ever get over it. You know, somebody said to me, it gets easier, but it never gets easy.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I realize now that everybody goes through this, you know. Who's somebody that you love? If you're a human, it's going to happen to you. Whether it be your mother, father, sister, brother, you know, and if it's your wife, husband, I don't know if it's worse when you're young or older, because when you're older, you don't have anybody, and you probably will never have anybody. You're like 80 years old and you lose somebody you've been with for 50 years. Until you go through it, you kind of can see with the person. But to fully understand that feeling, no. Because I could say, like, Jerry lost his one son.
Yeah.
Believe me and Jerry cried on the phone too when that happened. I bawled like a baby when Jerry lost his son. And for years, it's like I can see with him, you know, and I'm saying I understand. But no, I lost my father many years ago, and I know how it feels to lose my father. I love my father. Me and my father didn't really have a relationship until the last maybe 2-3 years of his life. I grew with him, but me and him wasn't friends. He was one of those disciplinarians. We didn't speak. And I think after a while, he destroyed any chance of my like younger years of me and him actually being friends or anything. But when he got older, he got sick. He became loving. He became that father that I needed when I was younger. So when I lost him, it was a big loss. And I was like, damn, I still need my father. It's like there's a bond there and there's like a certain amount of guidance. So when I need somebody to talk to about my direction, it's like a blanket. You know what I'm saying? When your parents are like a blanket, man, that anytime you're feeling lost, you're feeling like, that's where home is, where your parents are. When you lose your parents, you're on your own.
Yeah.
You're on your own, man. This is life now. So I didn't understand loss like how Jerry feels about his son until I lost my wife, though. I lost my parents, and I love my parents. Everybody loves, majority of people love their parents.
Right.
I don't know. It's a different thing when I lost my wife, the person I was sleeping next to every night. You know what I'm saying? It was devastating. I actually wanted to die myself. I was in a dark place for a long time. And I couldn't really identify with Jerry until that happened to me. Now I can find the words when he posts stuff about missing his son and whatever. I can actually write something now. Before, my thoughts are with you. You know what I'm saying? Now I can actually, without referring to anything that I'm feeling,
You can empathize now.
something like Jerry, man, it's a terrible situation you're in, and I can fully understand loss. I'm with you, bro. I'm there with you because it's something that you never lose. I lost my mother a couple months ago around Christmas time. My mother was my everything. If I would have lost her when I was younger, man, I don't know how I made it out. Just like my girls, they're both in therapy now. But
and how are the girls doing?
They're getting by. One of them just came back from Japan because she studies Japanese and Chinese in school. I don't know how she does it.
Konnichiwa?
Yeah, just taking one rough, but she's taking two. And it's just, you don't just have to know the language. You have to read, write, and understand the language, but you also have to study the culture.
Right.
That's right.
So for her to take two and not just one, homework and all that stuff that she gets, it's crazy. And the other one is going to school for computer coding and robotics, taking physics and all that stuff there.
Awesome.
Getting an A in physics, and I'm like, I can't help you with your homework, So, I mean, they get their brains from their mother, their musical side is from me.
Right.
But yeah, and the one the older one, she comes to me about a week after she lost her mother. We went to the movies, She, something, Daddy. Me and Crystal, we really appreciate you. We think you're very strong. And she said some. That's what really kept me strong. I had to be strong for them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I almost teared up just now. It's crazy.
He got me teared up because you know what? It's just as crazy as it sounds. You actually did have people that you were talking to going through the same thing as you, and it just worked out that way because it's not an easy thing. Everybody's situation is different. What resonates with me more is you were talking about your dad, the exact relationship I had with my dad. It was the exact, and it wasn't until when he got sick. That's the dad I wanted. You know what I mean? He's listening to me now. He's talking. He's not yellowing, not bellowing, and Same with you in the teenage years. That was dead. I was like, oh, that's dead. I just said that's how this man was going to be until. And so when that loss came, I didn't cry. I didn't cry until 3 years after, like it hit me. And I just could not stop crying because I said, I need him right now. You know what I mean? I need him right now. That resonated with me a lot when you said that, and I had to put that out there. But in regards to your wife, it's the simple fact you're able to talk about this. Because at that time, you probably didn't want to hear nothing from nobody. You were in your own space. You know what I'm saying? You just, it wasn't even about your kids. It was really about you getting back to normalcy. And I think your two daughters, those two beauties right there.
Yeah, they dance and they sing and they act.
Those two beauties right there are the ones that's definitely giving you, I'm here, you're still here for a reason. You got to see them through. You got some therapy, you know what I mean? It's just how it is right now and how you are now. Nobody would even know the pain that you went through because you're still, I'm not saying you're over it, you're working through it. You just start to change things a little bit differently now, and you have to, not have to, but what you are doing, you're working through it. So it gets, it's the word, it gets easier, depending on how you're working through. It never gets easy, but it gets easier, especially with your beauties, your two daughters right there, and they're coming up and doing amazing things like that. Japan, both languages, no, some.
Yeah, and the one
and as you said, they got that from the mom. See,
not me.
It is not me. Me can't help you. Your mother.
I forgot to even say the one that's studying computer coding and robotics. She's taking Chinese as well. You know, Mandarin.
Wow.
I'm like, how do you do all of that? Where do you have time to even sleep? It's amazing. You know, I just don't have those skills. I'm trying to learn Spanish. I don't have time for it, man. I know a few words and I forget them all the time.
Man. Yeah, right? Oh my God.
I'll tell you what, we got to round up. So let's move to the next level. Sharon, if you would do that, please.
Oh, yes. But a few people have said things, but if there's anybody else who wants to say a couple of words to Jerry before we round up the show. And let me say this, I said to Jerry, right? Coozie to Coozie. But let me say this real quick, Coozie.
What, did you just say Jerry?
I said Jerry, you know, because I'm looking at Jerry, I'm like, Jerry, you know I love you. Anyway, so, what's up? So when I caught myself, I was just like, wait, no, Coozie. So Coozie was talking about the Hines. I wanted to say it before. You might want to go check your DNA because we might be relatives too, because the Hines is on my side of the family, literally.
Okay. For real, yeah.
And because I did the 23andMe, and I was like, wait, what? Who? Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it. So you might, and if you do it, then it will pop up.
I did something. What is the other one? There's another one. A DNA thing. Ancestry. Yeah, I did that one.
Yeah.
I think I may have done that one first, but I found that the 23andMe pulled everything. Like, wow. Yeah.
Yo,
so 23
that can tell you some stuff that you never knew before, you know. It actually reveals something. I won't even say it, but it reveals something about my family. Yeah. I did not know. I got a half brother that I thought was a full brother.
Hey, a lot of things came out of it. Yeah, it's true though. But you know what? I say all of this, and I don't even want to take up too much because I want everybody to say something. I say that to say, you never know. You have children. You never know who they gonna meet down the road, and they might be marrying their cousin, and them not know about it.
Listen, boy, the way the world is today, we're gonna have to set our kids down and talk about the family lineage.
Sharon, this
Yes.
is trouble now, because my grandmother is Heinz.
Oh, look.
Wow.
Girl.
Oh my
My
God.
grandmother is Heinz, so this is trouble.
Family.
Yes. No wonder we look alike,
Girl.
Coozie.
You know, see
But
how
let
we
me
feel,
just
but
say,
I look
let me
on the
just say
face, so we
quickly.
all look alike.
We all look alike. Out of one come many. But let me
See
just
that?
say this before you all end up, is that when it comes to Tiffany, which she was
Right.
very close to me. Me and her had
Yeah.
many talks on the phone. This is Coozie's wife, and I spoke to her a few
You probably
days
know more
before.
about me than I know that you know.
Huh?
I said you probably know more about me than I know that you know.
Me know all heap about you, you tande. But Tiffany was a superwoman. That's what I call a real
She was.
superwoman. Okay. She was one of the women that can multitask many different levels, And Kuzi, I just want you to know that you picked the right one, and her spirit moves in her girls and with you all the time.
Yes.
And we were supposed to meet up for her birthday, which we never got to do that. But I know she's dancing wherever she is and celebrating all what she sees and all what you do. So with the friends that you have and the spirit that you have, you're gonna keep moving on. You're gonna go a long way. And Jerry,
Yo.
Jerry, you diss me, man. You diss me.
Not at all. Could never, would never.
General Sharon, I just want to tell you that you see when you have anthem band, Coozie, and Jerry to top the cake, you can't leave the place, You cannot leave because the beauty of that music, the fantastic sound that it has, the vibe that it has, moves your spirit, just like how reggae music's supposed to do,
Definitely.
So I love this platform, but with somebody like Coozie, you need part 1 and part 2.
Right,
There's so much that we didn't cover,
Yeah.
He hasn't even gone down the Wacky Road yet.
Exactly. We had an interview way back when, and we talked for 3 hours, and there was so much more to say.
Yeah. We'll make it happen. We definitely will make it happen. But thank you, Charmaine, for that.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Anybody else, real quick, before we round up the show, because I want to round up the song as well, Leaving. One of Coozie's songs. So,
Anybody would like to say something?
It's me, Teresa.
Teresa Kemp.
Hello, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Blessing. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Connie. How are you? Thank you again for being the band at the Evening Breeze launch at Astoria World Manor. Remember with Limey Murray, Tony Anthony, Ed Robinson, DJ Bandit, And then I went to your other shows and was your personal photographer on the down low.
I met 2 people at that show that you put on that, we're still friends,
Yes. It was a blessing, It was just like a rush job, but I'm coming out with a magazine, so I will be linking up to book you,
Awesome.
And Jerry, of course. We got to have Jerry on board too. Can't leave him out this time around.
Okay.
But my condolences to you in the loss of your wife. She's your guardian angel, and she's always there with you, So, and continue the work of Jah,
Yeah.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you, Teresa.
Okay. You're welcome.
All right. Anybody else would like to say something?
Coozie's my best friend, and he's like a little brother. And
Terry.
And I need $20, and I know he'll sell it to me. Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, Coozie's my good friend. Coozie and his family, even his son. He has his son. Me and his son be going at it because his son raps, and I be calling him out. Yeah, me and his whole family, we good. Yeah. Coozie done, man.
Yeah, my mother's 80th birthday
I remember we brought in Jerry to come play horns that day, so yeah, I had to bring in Jerry.
Yeah,
Jerry's
yeah.
family, he's been around so long.
Yeah, good memories, It's all good.
Yeah. Well, and if there's nobody else, we're going to end the show. Anybody else want to say something? Frank, me know you want to say something, no?
Yeah, Frank, later.
You're muted. You have to unmute.
Mute. Oh, yes. Sorry. I was talking a lot of the times, but you guys couldn't hear me.
Yeah.
But, I love my brother. He's great. And Anthem Bird, band, I've been around, brothers, so I've been around for a while listening to them. And Jerry, man, Jerry is just great. I love Jerry's. I love his horn.
All right.
He's a great guy.
Yes.
Jerry's,
respect.
and Coozie, he's been through the last couple of years. He's been through a lot.
Right.
So I try to be there for my little brother, but actually he's the youngest. I'm the oldest son. So he's been a great brother. He's been a great brother. He's been a great friend. I really can't ask for better. So big up to him and big up to you guys for the podcast. I know it's great. I love it, and just keep me informed. And whenever I can, I'll be there. Even though I'm on the other side of the camera.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah,
All right,
Frank's
Frank.
been a big supporter of the band for many years too. I really appreciate that because
I even DJ for them one time.
Yeah. I remember that.
Give me a name.
But DJ Frankie.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, but Frank gave us some work in the past too, because he's a member of one of those lodges. So I mean, it's mutual support too, because Frank is stuff like that keeps the band going. It's something to look forward to. Because when we first coming up, we needed shit like that to, make us relevant too.
Yeah.
Like the lodge dances get you known by the Jamaican society because mainly, we're in America, so our biggest supporters basically are white people,
Right.
And as I said, to get into the Jamaican community, you get the lodge dances and stuff. But then again, you have to be well-rounded to do what like the white people would want versus what a lodge would want. Because, boy, doing what we do, it's like you have to know a large amount of music and how to work with certain audiences. Not because you can play music means that you can move a crowd. But you gotta, analyze the crowd sometimes and say, what do they want? What can I get them to make them move? And sometimes even when they love the music, they don't want to move. So you got to figure out things, So as I said, doing the lodge dances, boy, if you can conquer those people.
The West Indians are the toughest group.
They're the toughest.
They are so tough.
They're so tough, and they literally will come to the front and really stand up and look at you like,
what are you doing?
It's sometimes
and the funniest thing, they may be enjoying the thing, but they just show no emotion, right?
They show no emotion.
The thing is that check this out. It's almost like the Apollo Theater in the fact that, man, some of them more look like they want to boo you than anything else. And look at it. One time, I remember when we first started, the DJ put on a tune. It starts off, you can't play bass, you can't play drums. Yes, studio. I'm like, wow, we're just stringing up,
Right.
It's like breaking our confidence before we even play,
Jesus.
So yeah, it takes a lot when you're getting into the music business, man. The perseverance and stuff like that. You have to. You can't be thin-skinned, Yeah.
I tell you what, Coos, we're always going to be bringing you back. We're always paying you attention to what you're doing on the circuit. We've loved everything about you and what you've been doing for years, and you're still standing. You're still making incredible music. I know you're working with many incredible artists as well.
Yes, Blackout J.A. Hezron.
Get in 2 minutes, sharp. Tell me about the people you're working with before we end the show.
Oh, as I said to you, I got a project I'm working on now featuring JC Lodge and Blackout JA. That's the song I'm working on. I have wow, so many. It's so many. I'd have to actually write that stuff down.
Right.
I got a lot of people I'm working at, like even Gregory Isaac's son, Young Ruler.
Okay.
Stuff with him. I'm doing a whole lot of projects with him and some artists that he's working with.
Right.
There's all kind of artists in my mind. Like I want you make sure that you play my song with Hezron too. I'm sure that I'll send it to you.
I know him.
It's a wicked tune. It's a wicked tune. You just need some promo.
Right.
Ten Star, have you heard of that? Hezron, you've heard that music? You've heard him?
Yeah, I think we have the one with Hezron somewhere here. And
Yeah, I know him. I met him he played at my cousin's wedding some years back.
Great singer.
And yeah, he's an amazing singer. And then we all went to hang out. We went all over the place. I forgot what was happening in Jamaica then, but we all went to hang out. So I actually know him, and I was like, this guy he's no joke.
Yeah, he had a deal with one of the American labels as well at one point, So
yeah, I know, right?
R&B. The guy
R&B.
He's that good.
He's that good. Yeah, he has more of the R&B style, to be honest.
I think that years ago, because I've had 2 interviews with him back in the past. I think that's going back at least 7-10 years.
Yeah,
he did used to sing soul, and his voice is incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah, incredible.
Yeah,
I got a few projects with Luciano as well, So
nice.
I'm working on another song currently with Luciano and a guy named Ayatunde.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one with him in Avaron, and have one with him in Blackout JA.
Right.
Lucy's voice is appearing a lot. And I used to tour with Luciano.
Right.
Maybe one of these days you'll have one with me and Luciano as well.
Amen.
Yes, sir.
Speak it into existence.
That's
I
right.
tell you what, we have to get out of here because time is of the essence, and we're going to get kicked out shortly. So I want to thank everyone for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you guys for sticking around for so long.
Thank you.
Much love for you, man. Much love and respect.
Coozie, your salute, sir. Big and tall like the Eiffel Tower. Kilimanjaro ain't got nothing over you.
Jerry.
Anyway, who we got next week, Sharon?
Who do we
The
have?
Real Storm, I do believe. We have
Yeah,
the Storm.
The Real Storm. The Real Storm.
So join us next week, Saturday. The Real Storm.
Back there too.
Hmm?
We did a backing show with her too.
All right.
Did you?
Very talented.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to end the show with Stranger in Love, which is a song that you produced, Coozie.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to play that out. All right, so join us next week. We'll be back. Enough love.
Yes. Bye, Jerry.
All right, so let me see if I can just reprogram my system. As you know, these gremlins normally kick in and try to mess up the program. All right, here we go.
Life as its ups, as its downs, you let me on my knees. When you lift me up, show me what the word love really means. Held me through the rough and the tough, and you never said you had enough. You took away my heavy load and shared it to your shoulders. Life ain't guaranteed much, but you came with more than enough. You filled and overflowed the cup, baby. It's your love, your love, your love gives me stronger and stronger in love. Please be stronger and stronger in love.
That's my line. Step aside, babe. Let a star do this. That's all. That's all, folks.
Can I go home now?
I'm 10-Star General from Starcade Promotions, and I'm out of here. If you enjoy the content we provide on this YouTube channel, then why not help us by subscribing to SPRB Radio Podcast? Thank you in advance.